I realized I recorded the video and I didn't actually press record, so that's not very fun. I have to redo everything again. But let's start. Hello there guys. Today we're gonna leave the books behind and we're gonna talk about my top 5 games that I used to play when I was a child. I am coming from Romania and I was born into a poor to middle class family, and that wasn't the best combination. But somehow I did manage to get a PlayStation 1 at the age of around 7. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. I remember the games back then used to be a lot more fun and had more of a satisfaction factor to it compared to today's games. I haven't really played a game for a long time, in a very long time. But that's also probably due to my age as well. Anyhow, let's get into my top 5 games that define my childhood. At number 5, we have a game called SSX Tricky. Man, this game was awesome. And that's from what I remember because I haven't played it in a very, very long time. It was primarily a racing game, but instead of cars, it was with snowboards, where there were two aims for the game, and that was to win the game and also do as many tricks as possible. I remember the game also having some sort of mini games where you can just play it for fun casually. But the game itself, at its core, was very basic, but I remember I used to have a lot of fun playing that day in, day out. There was also a story mode that you can just pick a character and just follow their story through the game. This game it's only at 5th place because I can't really remember much about it. But I definitely do remember that I used to play this game quite a lot in my days. Now, at number 4 we have Spider-Man 2, the game. This game I remember that I picked up from a car boot sale here in the UK. I already knew that this game was gonna be a lot of fun, but damn, I didn't know I was gonna play the shit out of this game. There was literally so many things that you could do in this game. You could swing around the city, you could do side quests, go through the main story of the game, and so many more other things. Like, I think there was a combat system in place where you could upgrade, like in an RPG. I remember that I used to swing a lot the New York City and looking for criminals to beat the crap out of them. And that at the time it made me feel like I was an actual hero saving the day. There's no hiding that Spider-Man for me, as for many others, is one of my favorite comic book characters out there. And this game especially because it was so complex, it did make you feel like you was actually Spider-Man yourself. The swinging mechanic was great. The combos were great in general as well. There was a lot of diversity when it came to the fighting system as well. And in general, we just had things to do and it never felt boring. I haven't tried the new PS5 Spider-Man game, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've watched it on YouTube and I hope that one day I have the chance to play that because it looks like it improved on what Spider-Man 2 was at the time. At number 3 we have Halo Combat Evolved. 1 minute of silence for the team. This game was pure awesomeness. From the campaign mode, which was very hard for me at the time as a kid, to the endless hours you'd spend online with your friends, capturing the flag or killing your enemies endlessly. I had endless fun with this game. I remember when I played this game, there was a mission where I had to face this big blue guys that to me at the time were very scary. I forgot what their names were. I will probably put it somewhere here if I do find out when I edit the video. But yeah, they were scaring the shit out of me because one, they were very hard to kill. Two, they just were scary as hell. And I remember there was a point in that game that there was a place where there would be two of them, not one but two. But you can imagine how that went. Very fun times, very fun times. At number 2 we have Counter-Strike 1.6. Tell me you're Eastern European without telling me that you're Eastern European. This game is still played to this date in 2003. What? In 2023. It is hard for me to think that this game will ever die at this point. It's one of those games that, poor people can crack easily and play it on any piece of crap that we call computer. Do I actually need to explain how fun this game was? For the people who don't know about this game, Counter-Strike 1.6 is a tactical shooting game that you usually play 5v5 and it's a lot better than Call of Duty. I'm gonna probably get some hate for that, but yeah. The game is quite simple. There's two sides. You have the terrorist side and the counter-terrorist side. The terrorist aim is to plant the bomb in one of two sides, side A or side B, and the counter-terrorist need to stop that from happening. This game, like I said, is tactical, and so communication with your teammates is very important for you to be successful at the game.
Short, another, caralho! Short! That's why.
This game was and still is fun today, due to the community still creating game modes for this game, such as the zombie mode or the surf mode. Oh, and lastly, before I move on, the Dust 2. I will just leave this here. Now, before I move on to the first place, I just want to say an honorable mention to one of the games that did actually define my childhood a lot. This game is not very popular amongst the Western audience, but it used to explode when it came out in Eastern Europe in the 2008-2014 period. It's a game that made a lot of virgins stay virgin. A game that made you give up school because you had better things to do with your main character in the game than actually going to school. A game that made a lot of kids happy to some degree. I am talking about the one and only Metin 2. Metin, for those people who don't know, it's like World of Warcraft but for Eastern Europe. You would pick up a class, you would give it a name, and your main aim was to level up that character. And also to get better items as you progress through the game. You know, like your classic RPG game. Look at the graphics. Okay, maybe not the graphics, look at the combat system. No, maybe not the combat system either. But look, the game wasn't popular for its graphics or mechanics. But I can't really point out what made Metin so addictive back in the day. It just was. And trust me when I say this game exploded when it came out. Nevertheless, I had a lot of fun with my friends back in the day on this game. RIP to all of you guys. At number 1 we have Spider-Man PS1. Now this game holds very dear in my heart, and not because it's a great game, but it's because I played it with one of my best friends. I mean, he was playing 99.9% of the time because he wouldn't share the controller with me. But hey, I was mainly watching from the side, but that was the first game I ever saw in my life, and to me at the time was wow. And to top it all up, it was Spider-Man as well. I was just speechless. I managed to play this game myself a few years later on my PC, and everything from the game, from the characters to the simple combat system to the costumes to the story, yes, including you scary shit. I remember there were a lot of mini games as well to play, which made it even more fun. There were many costumes you can choose from and replay the game with those costumes. I remember playing a lot with the unlimited Spider-Man costume, and that was mainly because you could turn invisible and just run through the criminals without them noticing you whatsoever. And that was fun because, you know, they wouldn't notice you, so you could go past them. Was it just me? Yeah, it's fair to say I would play this game even when I'm 80. Anyway, now we go to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please let me know in the comment sections down below if you played at least one of these games from my list. If so, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.